Brian Powell of I Run Far here at Jared Hazen before the 2022 Western States 100. How are you, Jared?
Doing good, Brian. How are you?
Doing all right. You first ran Western States in 2015.
2014.
2014.
Yeah.
8 years ago.
Right, yeah.
And yet you're still one of the youngest folks in the field.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a kid or a veteran or?
I'm starting to feel a little older.
Yeah.
27 now, so I'm sure, hopefully, we got to have somebody younger than me in the race this
There's
year.
like 3 26-year-olds, and those are the youngest.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, yeah, you kind of show up on the start line of this Western States. Among like the favorites is probably the person having the most experience on the course.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think this is like the 5th time I'll be lining up, and so definitely have some experience, and I have high goals for the race. So yeah, I expect to kind of be, mixing up at the top.
Totally. You had 2 really great performances that speak for themselves on this course, and then there was last year. What did happen last year?
Yeah, I think, last year I kind of had expectations of the races, that I had in the past, like great race in 2019 and coming back in 2021 after a pandemic year, and like had expectations of how it was supposed to be and like how it should feel, and it just wasn't the same. I mean, each race is a new race, and I didn't feel very good early on, and yet like was pressing to be where I thought I needed to be, and I felt like I was carrying a little bit of fatigue in from maybe a long training block, but like I just failed to like calculate that into the race. Like I had one plan, and like it wasn't a good one that day.
Yeah.
So yeah, ultimately like I burned a bunch of matches pretty early on in the race and ended up like halfway kind of done.
Yeah.
And like just with my goals kind of falling out the window. I didn't want to be on the course anymore.
Yeah. Did you learn anything from that experience?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think like it's just a reminder that like, lesson you learn 100 times in ultra running is like you got to take what the day gives you, no matter what you want to happen or what you think should happen or what's happened before. You need to deal with the circumstances that you have on the day.
Yeah. So maybe have that A plan to what would it take to win on Saturday. I'm sure that's in your head. Like that's a possibility.
For sure.
But maybe have some other like
I just think
scenarios in your head.
For sure. And like you never know. Like you might think that your A plan of winning the race is out the window, but you give yourself a chance, to rally and to kind of, run in the circumstances you're in. Like, things maybe evolve later in the race and you're moving up.
Yeah.
But to just kind of bowl, like your way through the way you want it to go isn't the move.
And you never know when that bad patch might come.
Right. Yeah.
And also go. Like one of the prime examples of that in like ultra running history is here this week at Ludovic Pomeray. Like the year he had like stomach problems and a horrible first 50K at UTME, and then wins it. Like
for sure. And like he doesn't win that race unless he takes care of his problems early on, like and kind of lets go of that thought of winning for a little while.
So going into Canyons, you had to get a qualifier, you had to get a golden ticket into the race, and you were uncharacteristically like quiet and like just like going in on that on silent almost. Like what was your approach going into the Canyons?
I think like I had a couple of years of not running very well, and like part of it was just I didn't know if it was gonna happen or not. Like I didn't exactly have a ton of confidence heading into the race, and like I was just trying to get my own like mind right and think that like just try to stay positive and think that like I can still do this. So yeah, like it's kind of tough to go into a race and of course you want to talk about the past, like what's been going on the last couple of years. And it's like, you don't want to talk about like why you've run like shit for 2 years, like before a race that you're trying to like get yourself like ready for, So yeah, kind of like that, like just trying to focus on the task at hand, I guess.
Yeah. And well, you did run yourself into Western States.
Yeah. Got 3rd and like second to last golden ticket.
There you go.
In the States this year. So yeah, had a pretty good day and like, kind of had a race that like I would expect to have. Like I felt really strong throughout, and just kind of put myself in golden ticket position.
And that's all you needed. Like, you don't need to win the race.
Yeah,
set a course record. Or...
And with it being like a tight turnaround, I didn't need to go and like dig myself in a hole to win this race. Like I kind of went there to do a job and got the job done.
And there've been lessons of like that in the past. More in a decade plus ago, it used to be Miwok. If you won Miwok, you weren't going to win Western States. And there's a little more time with Canyons, but you kind of played it smart.
Ran like a solid race, but like without killing myself out there, and was was feeling pretty good after, and was able to get in some good training ahead of this race. So.
How was that transition from Canyons back into training? Your last training block.
It was good. I had a slight delay, like a week after Canyons. I got COVID, probably on the flight home from Canyons, honestly. And so like that just kind of pushed things back like another 2 weeks, which is already a tight turnaround. But I was kind of in the frame of mind of like it's either going to happen or it's not. And like once I started training again, things went really, really well. Like kind of picked up. Right.
So maybe that extra week or two of rest after is still 100K that you race at Canyons.
Yeah.
Like maybe
not such a bad thing.
Yeah, maybe you'll go into this a little fresher than last year.
For sure. And I felt like I was kind of at the bottom of like an upward trajectory. Like when I was at Canyons, even Canyons, like training had been fine. It wasn't anything special, but I did feel like I was starting to like really feel good again and make some progress. And so I'm hoping that I've kind of just kept climbing,
Nice. What's still special about Western States? Because you have been coming here for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, there's just there's an energy around the race, like there's the history of it, and like having your own like personal history, adds a layer of, of like, I was really bummed after last year's race, and like, for a while I didn't want to come back to Western States, and then like just in the last couple of months, like getting that like urge again, like like imagining myself on the course and like the just envisioning how it plays out and like actually wanting to be out there again. It's a good feeling. And after having a couple of good results without a win, like that keeps you very hungry to like go like seal the deal and like make it happen.
Yeah, and like of the returning folks, like you're kind of one of the two favorites. Like you and Tim Tollefson having a lot of experience. There's people who finished on the podium last year and other up and comers, but like, what does it feel like do you feel pressure, or like having been in this position a number of times, do you almost feel like you just... Yeah,
I think I'm starting to kind of get over that. Like maybe last year I felt like had some pressure to like get it done, but then like I've kind of seen like a really good day play out here, and I've seen a really bad day play out, and like a week later it's kind of all the same, like so whatever happens, and like life goes on, I guess.
Right on. Well, I hope it does play out well for you and you get to enjoy the day.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Best of luck out there.
Appreciate it, Brian.